Yes, thank you. Welcome everyone to the Battle for Talent. Career, life and choices that matter. We have 30 minutes to dedicate to a 100% human topic. We have 30 minutes to talk about the people who are driving this industry, the people who are developing new solutions to technology, the AI, who understand the market, who translate, who do the interpreting, and who analyze. To get started, let me ask, who of you is a hiring manager? Quite a few. Who of you is looking for a new job? It's your chance. There. Everyone got a good job. That's good. Happy for you. Who of you has ever been in the privileged position to be able to choose between two job offers? Wow. May I ask, have you gone for the passion or for the money? Who has gone for the passion? Brave. Who went for the money? It's also fine. Good. Take good care of yourself. And last question from my side before we dive into the topic. And we will have 5 minutes at the end to discuss, to have questions, to have a conversation. Who of you has had doubts before starting a new challenge, accepting a new job, going into a new adventure? Who has had a moment of doubt? Can I do that? Yeah, me too. Me too. And in that moment, I thought, well, I won't trust myself 100% because I have doubts. Am I ready to do that? Am I able to do that? I asked my mentor, and I asked the people close to myself, people who know me, and they said, you might not be 100% ready, but you can do it. And you will learn the rest on the job. And that's what I did. I come from translation studies, a little dive into my own story, and then we dive into the market. What does the search for talent mean for us in the language industry? I studied translation studies and economics at the University of Heidelberg and Bologna. Then I moved on. I became a salesperson in the industry for an LSP. And with 27, I founded my own translation agency. It was very ambitious. I saw the company growing, and when it was not a startup anymore, but it became a scale-up, I sold it, and I went back into corporate, into an LSP, like larger LSP. Then my second child was born, and I thought, oh, I want to dedicate more time to family. And I decided to start my own business as a consultant. That was the same time with COVID, and actually it turned out to be a really good decision. I learned so much, and I actually thought I would be doing this for the rest of my life. It was a good fit with the family as well. The kids grew up, life changed, the industry changed, bigger challenges are coming up, the technology, the AI, and I thought, well, I want to join a larger corporation. And I was offered a challenge where I was promised that my experience would really make a difference. I had my doubts, I asked my mentor, I asked my friends, and I go, you can do it. And I did it. Today I'm general manager of Accolade Netherlands, and we're driving the most of the biggest challenges that I want to talk with you about is the talent, right? Part of this is parenting and work. In my example, being mother and work. Parenting and work is one of these challenges. In an industry where we always have deadlines, an industry that is related to the product cycle of our customers, an industry that is depending on the processes of our customers. So it's a deadline-driven industry. How the hell do you combine that, being mother and running business? Some of you might recognize these situations, rushing from a meeting to the school, picking up the kids. And I can tell you, I had one of the best conversations on the way to school. I remember a colleague who said, in the Netherlands, you have a day off as a teacher. Their school closes. And he said, well, whether you're working parent or not, take your kids. We have a day off. Teachers have a day off for a day of development. And actually, there are 3 of these days in a year in the Netherlands for teachers. So, my colleague said, well, can I bring my son to work? Of course. And we created a day with children at work so that they can get to know what is my father, what is my mother doing at work all day, and what is this about? Which roles are in this industry? But the secret, well, there is no secret, but maybe 2 learnings when I talk to other people in the industry who face the same challenge is there is no, oh, I want to have a little quality time now with the family. No, time is always quality. Time is always quality time. And second, accept that you might have other priorities next to work. You might have to leave sometimes earlier to pick up your child or to take care of family. And with all the technology that is out there that helps, and with all the remote working and the flexibility, that is very much appreciated. But it starts with understanding you have to make choices. And sometimes you might have other priorities. And what exactly is happening in our industry? We have just heard it from Daniel Suskind. It's not about unemployment. It's actually, we don't want to talk about re-employment. No, we want to talk about training, about talent development. We don't want to get that far as a company that we talk about unemployment or re-employment. No. We want to understand what is our employees, our colleagues, our people's requirement, what are their personal goals in life, and connect that to our business goals. And that helps us create an interesting offering for our employees, not only for our customers. So what is happening in industry, what makes it so tricky to search for the right talent and to keep the right talent? We've spoken about it, and you will hear it later today. You will hear it also tomorrow. We are dealing with a different skill set. We have to learn new skills. We are dealing with new roles. People from the university, students are asking, is it still worth studying translation studies or interpretation? Yes, as long as you connect it to the new skills that we need in this industry. People in this industry, of course, need a continuous learning mindset, strong communication skills, cultural competence. That helps us. And is there a shortage of talent in the industry? The one might say yes, the one might say no. It's a matter of defining how does this new talent look like? What are these new roles? And help people from the university or from the market being trained on those skill set and join your company. My personal take is there's not a shortage on talent, but we don't always have the right talent on the market at the moment. So we need to invest more. And what helps in talent attraction as a company in our industry and in any other industry? What helps attracting talent and keeping talent? For sure, human-centric leadership. And why is this so important? Because you remember our industry has been evolving from translators setting up companies, family business, family-owned businesses, and now the top 20 of the industry. They are financially driven companies, investor-driven companies, big change in the industry. You might all feel that, whether you work in a small or a big company. And there it's so important, the human leadership. Keep up the vision, the mission, and the core values in the company, whether it's a small or a big company. And connect to the human, the people. Although we talk every day about technology and AI. Sheryl Sandberg, she said once, motivation comes from working on things we like, on things we care about. And of course, she's right. It also comes from the people we work with. And when you manage to create that work atmosphere in your company, the work culture, then your people will truly connect to the people in the company. They will stay, they will open up to learn those new skill sets that they need in our industry, whether they are young professionals or whether they have been in the business for a very, very, very long time. The concepts of talent attraction and talent retention. It sounds very technical. It sounds very HR. I know. But sales has totally changed. Data, you remember. Sales once was, well, transactional. We got a quote request, we answered to the quote request, we sent a very good proposal, and maybe we won it. Sales have totally changed. Sales, not in our industry, it has changed across all industries to solution selling, to understanding truly what is the primary business objective of the person you're building a solution for. These are skill sets, right? These are skill sets. So to attract the right talent, you need, whether you're small or big as a company, a concept of how do I attract that talent. Part of that is the company branding. Part of that is the exposure on social media, talking to different generations on the channels that the new talent and the old talent prefers. By focusing on a variety of strategies in your talent attraction, you can increase the percentage of people who can connect their personal goal with your business goal, right? So keep in mind the strong company culture. We mentioned that small or big company is very important. The vision, what is the mission, and what are the core values that your people can connect to, that they truly can connect to. The flexible working agreements. We spoke about working mother, working parent. Flexibility is so important. We know about that since COVID. But create a flexible work environment in terms of time and in terms of technology for the employees. I remember 2 weeks ago, I was working in the evening because the morning after I took off. I wanted to be free to go on a school trip with my youngest son. We went to a goat farm and I learned all kinds of stuff about goats, and it was so stinky. But my 5-year-old one was so proud and so happy that his mom was there in that moment. That was what counted. And I know now how much milk does a goat give in a day, and how does that work. It was 8 liters per milk, by the way. And the next point, the employee recognition. Not all recognition has to be monetary. No. If you ask the people who join a company, what actually do you need to feel recognized, to feel connected, to be happy at your work? Most of these people will probably say nowadays, I want to be seen for what I'm doing. I want recognition. And then you have to find out what is that in your company? What is that for that specific person? Be transparent in the communication, in the internal and external communication. Transparent means if it's going well, be transparent. If it's not going well, be transparent. That helps you connect to the employees. And one of the things that really helps well to attract right talent is internal referral programs that help your people bring on board new people. So let's stand a moment still with the concept of employer value proposition. Some of you might know the value proposition from a sales concept, right? I see people nodding. That means you understand who is the person I'm talking to, what is their role, what is their objective, what does the person want to achieve, and what is the company's business objective. And then as a salesperson, like, okay, what can I offer? I build a solution, right? We cannot stop there, revolutionizing sales. No, we also need to do that for our employees. We need to understand what are their goals in life, what do they want to achieve, and connect that to what can we offer. And let me show how this works. A couple of concepts. It's not all. It's not complete, but just to give some insights and some stimulation. We talked about the learning culture. Daniel talked about it. We talked about adapting to new skill sets. Very important, the learning culture. To foster a learning environment and offer where are the gaps, where are the personal gaps of a person, or where are the company gaps. Career path, the concept of career path. That means you offer a plan, ideally a long-term plan, to an employee, to a new joiner, to an existing employee, to define steps. What can we do together? What can you do? What can we do together to achieve a certain goal? Some people I've interviewed, I've heard they say when they join the company, oh, my goal is I want to become a manager. Okay. How does that look like? What type of manager? I want to become a manager of a team. Okay, let's look into that. What do you need to get there? What are the steps that we can take together? And how does that fit into our organization, into our organizational structure, right? Third point, cross-functional opportunities. People love not taking care only of one thing, the same thing every day again and again. It can be very empowering, give opportunities to connect to another function in the company, to work on a project level, of course, and to step out of the traditional functional way of working. Mentorship. It's a fantastic concept. I'm sure all of you have benefited from a mentor. A person that wants to support you, that has the knowledge that you might not have yet. It's a person you can always go to. You can ask for advice. So a mentoring program in your company can help your talent have a close connecting point, advice over how does the organization work, how do specific organization, specific things work, or maybe how should I take that conversation with my line manager? Mentorship. And last but not least, and the key in this is the talent assessment. Talent assessment is a concept that means when a new person joins your company, you assess what does that person bring. Maybe there's a gap. We develop a learning system for that. So we make a plan. How do we together close that gap? That you can be fully proficient as a project manager, or as a data analyst, or as a salesperson, or as a translator, or as a post editor, whatever. But talent management assessment also means that you review on a regular basis and you show the progress. Right? It's HR concept, but it will help you have happier employees, team members, and it will help your employees see where am I on this development plan. I made an agreement with my company, with my employer. I want to become a manager. Yeah. Thank you. So the concept is talent management assessment. Assess the gaps, help the person get closer to their goal. And sometimes it doesn't need to be very expensive trainings, but it can be by freeing up resources or mentors inside your company. Yeah. I'm coming to the end. I thought this would be good, would be really nice to share with you, and I would love then to engage with you in the conversations. What are the challenges that you are facing, and how are you managing the talent attraction and the talent retention in your company, in your team, whether it's big or small? I asked people who joined my team recently, and that's literally what they said, and I found it really representative, and they enjoyed it. I would share it here with you. Florence said, the personal development, that's really important to me, and the way how people care about people, that makes me feel at home here. People person. And Leo, he said, because you offer development for me, I've been working for 15 years in a company, always doing the same. You offer development option, a career path, and you offer the latest state-of-the-art technology. Of course, the technology, the offering, the AI, that is all part of the game. Of course, we need to develop that. Attila said, I have never seen that you meet with the CEO on the first day. We're a somewhat larger organization. And that you dance with him. He will never forget that. Thank you for diving into a 100% human topic for 30 minutes before moving on to technology and AI and so just as important topics, right? But now I would like to open this up to be a conversation. Share a little bit out of your work reality. Maybe you have questions. That's your moment. Thank you.